All right, Alexis.
All right. Drew.
It's so good to see you face to face.
Yes, you too.
And this is our new kind of way of doing a podcast, we think, which is more face to face and more in person.
Yeah.
And which is, we were just talking about how it's kind of a little bit weird. We haven't seen each other face to face in like a year or more.
Yep.
Except for our little trip that we went on.
Yep. I'm glad you remembered.
And we are going to be having these in a different way. So we're going to try it this week. And we have a very special guest, which is Katie Lafferty, that's going to join us in just a minute. She's going to talk to us about VizPick, which I know everybody's like so pumped about.
Yes.
But we just happened to be in the office, and Lara Shock, we ran into her, and she had some special items.
Yes.
We've been talking about a new look in stores coming and these new devices. And we said, hey, let's just spend a couple of minutes and let's show everybody. So, Laura, what do you have there?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm so glad I ran into you guys today. I'm excited to see you. So I've got a couple of things here that are noteworthy. First of all, you guys are aware of the announcement that we made a little while back around how we're going to equip our associates going forward in lots of different ways, software and hardware. Mm-hmm. And I happen to have here for you an example of what that looks like. This is the Samsung X cover that you've been talking about. Yeah.
Sweet.
This is the device that we plan to equip almost, a little over half of our frontline associate population with over the course of this year.
Yeah.
And the great thing, it's not just the device. It's a consumer grade device, right? We're not talking about a TC70 or anything like that you just use at work. The great thing about this is it's just like probably the phone that you have in your back pocket.
Yeah, so this is the smaller iPhone.
Mm-hmm.
And then this is the X cover.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Same, a little bit bigger.
Yep.
And we have this case as well that's going to be going at OtterBox. So
accessories
each one will get,
are involved.
Yep. So each one will have
That's
an
big
OtterBox
time.
too. You want to
Yeah.
hold it?
Yeah,
Have you
I
seen
do.
it yet?
I have not.
Yeah.
This is like a good weight.
Yeah, I think so. And a good size. And like I said, you'll be able to use it as we roll them out, both to do work things, right? So how we manage inventory, which Katie will talk about a little bit later. Mobile clock-in, which is already available right through the Me at Walmart app. That'll be already downloaded for associates to use on the device. So all your work stuff. And there'll still be a divider, right? Like a privacy divider here where, Drew, you could use it outside of work as well and put service on it or not, right? Or just use free Wi-Fi and watch your Netflix, check your email, do your texts, all that kind of stuff.
Very neat.
I think the model that I've heard described this really well is kind of like if you have kids that get Chromebooks. So if your school gives you Chromebooks or they issue you a Chromebook, you use it at school for school stuff, and then when you're at home, you can use it as well.
Yep.
It's kind of that model, right? So this will be our associate's device. They'll actually have it.
Yep.
It'll be issued to them, and they can do all the tasks that they need to do and help customers.
Yeah.
And we're going to be adding functionality as we go. But then they'll also be able to use it at home, which is, I think, pretty cool.
Yeah, the whole idea is that you just get to work how you live.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Simple as that.
All right, so X cover coming soon to a store near you. We're starting with team leads.
Starting with team leads, absolutely, and they'll start to flow here in the next few weeks. So we're excited to see those flow into stores.
Cool.
Very cool.
Great stuff. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
We're going to grab Katie, and she's going to come in and talk to us about VizPick.
Woohoo!
Equally excited.
Yes.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Laura.
All right, we are back, just like that. Did a little switch. Laura's out, Katie's in,
That's right.
and we are going to talk about VizPick a little bit.
A little bit.
But before we jump in, Alexis,
Drew.
I think we should probably talk a little bit about your background. Some people may
Yes.
know a little bit about you, Katie, but you've been with the company for a while, done a lot of different things. Now you get to work on some really cool stuff. But it'd be cool to talk about your career because a lot of people may say, hey, this is stuff that I'm interested in. I'd like to do that type of job. And then some of the store associates may remember you because you've been on stage multiple times.
Once or twice.
At YBM and some of the
Holiday meetings.
the Central Ops, the Harry Potter one. You were Sherry Potter.
I was. I
Phenomenal.
was the best store manager ever.
Oh, the best store manager ever. That's right.
Yes.
So a lot of folks will recognize you and for sure on some of those things, but also some of the work you've done. But first, if you want to just talk a little bit about where did you start with the company? What was your first job and how did you end up here?
All right, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Everybody sitting down?
Yes.
Wait, another button.
Now, yeah.
That is fantastic.
It's so good.
It's so
Yes.
good. I was actually an hourly associate in Ashflat, Arkansas, store 160, and I worked in the shoe department.
Shoe department.
That's my
Yes.
first job.
Part-time or full-time?
I was part-time,
Okay.
and I wasn't allowed off of the carpet because the payroll was out of a different division, and that's when that mattered, right?
Oh, okay.
I mean, a lot has changed in the
Yeah.
17 and a half years
Yeah.
I've worked with the company, but like,
Yeah, you had to stay on the carpet.
I did. It was
Wow.
great. Yeah.
Staying with the shoes.
I love shoes. I mean, what person doesn't love shoes?
So
But-
started in shoes.
Yep. And so then I got the opportunity to move over to IMS.
Okay.
It was ICS at the time, but
Right.
everybody knows it as IMS now. And then I just kind of worked my way up. Worked basically started in Ashflat and worked all the way up to Branson, where I was a store manager. And totally love that store. Still miss
Yeah.
it. Store 32 on the Strip.
Yeah, all in Branson.
Yeah.
Man, that's a great store.
Yep. Great group of associates. And I think that I've been blessed throughout my career with a great group of associates. I
Yeah.
don't think I've been in a single store that didn't walk away going, great group of associates. You know? Then I got a phone call. Said, hey, you want to come work at the home office? I was like, no. Originally I did. I was like, me?
Yeah.
Are you kidding?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I didn't have the right, mindset, I guess, I thought at the time.
Yeah.
Like, everybody at the home office seemed really tech savvy and
Sure.
super, super intelligent. And I'm not saying that I'm not. It
Right.
didn't feel like the
Yeah,
right
it
fit
felt
for
different,
me.
right?
It did. It did. But then when I got here, I was like, okay, these can be my people too.
Yeah, sure.
And so I worked on various positions at the home office as well. I've had the fortune of standing up fresh operations, which was a massive learning experience
Yeah,
for me.
sure.
But then I got put under John Crecilius with
Yeah.
Central Ops,
Yep.
formerly Innovations.
Right.
And that's where I feel like I kind of found my niche. Because with my operations experience, the products that we worked on truly impacted the
Yeah.
associate.
Yeah, sure.
And so what I knew, it was really, really easy to go, oh, no, that's a bad idea. We shouldn't do
Yeah.
it that way. And so with my power of influence, I was able to help shape and mold a lot of the products that we have out there today. And then some of the new ones like
Yep.
VizPick.
Yeah, sure.
That's
And
great.
How amazing is that? I mean, you started in shoes, but you were in ICS, which was at the very beginning stages of inventory control.
Yeah, most people don't know what that is.
Yeah, so you're an associate in ICS, and you go from that to now you're in your career where you're designing a product that is state of the art, really state of the art, and making such a huge difference, you know? And I'm sure this happens in some companies, but I feel like at Walmart, it's a reality.
Yeah.
People can actually make that leap. You can go from being in a store and performing the work each and every day to now you're designing the products that are making it easier.
Yeah.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah, and I didn't even put those two together.
Yeah.
I did work on an inventory management
Yeah,
team,
yeah.
inventory control specialist.
Yeah, isn't that
In
crazy?
the store, and now I'm creating the tool that those very associates
Yeah.
are working with.
That's
kinda-
amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
It's very cool.
Well, cool. So, so how long in total have you been in the office? How many years?
6.5 years.
16
I
years.
think.
So you spent
Okay.
10,
6.5,
10 or 11 years in the stores?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I should know that exactly, but I don't. I'm like, I don't know. That's crazy. I don't know.
What's
that.
the difference? So yeah, it's interesting to me to look at, we have, I've worked in distribution centers, I've worked in stores, I've worked at the office. It all has a little different feels, all for the same company. What's the difference for you between the two, being in a store or being from an office perspective?
Oh, I think it's mental for me, and what I mean by that is the impact. When I was in the stores, you were impacting your store, your associates, your customers, and you kind of had this like really tight
Yeah, sure.
circle. But when you're at the home office, you're impacting 1.2 million associates.
Yeah.
Like if VizPick doesn't work, I'm making a pretty bad day for a lot of associates on day in and day out. So I think it's impact. I can say that it was, I felt, and I'm not saying that this is for everybody,
Right.
but I also felt like in the stores, you got a lot more personal
Yeah.
with people. Like the close knitness of it. I don't use knitness a word.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
Make it work.
absolutely.
Hey, we made up VizPick. We can make up words too. But the closeness they're truly family. When you hear people say my Walmart family, you really feel that in a store. I feel it at the home office too.
Yep.
But I felt it. I think I felt that more in the field.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally. Well, it's that, and we brought this up before on the podcast, but it's this raw environment for our leadership. It's all right there. It's very much a family. You're taking care of customers. You're doing stuff in the fly.
Yep.
And it's just a different environment. And but it's an environment that really brings out strong leaders and strong communicators.
Yep.
And we see that in all of our store leaders that really excel are the ones that are great at leadership, great at communication, and they can run the store day to day, which is a whole different skill set that a lot of people have to work on to get there, right? That's good. Awesome. So you have a family?
I
Kids?
do. I have the biased opinion, most amazing 13-year-old little girl whose birthday is actually today.
Oh my goodness. Happy birthday.
Happy
I hope she
birthday.
listens to this.
Yes,
Okay.
Cambria, yep.
Love that.
Yep, and she just started playing softball, and
Oh.
so I'm like the proudest mother in the entire world because she never really had any interest whatsoever. And then March of this year, she's like, Mom, I think I want to play softball. I'm like, and okay, let's go. And you go buy all the equipment.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And so I've got all the training equipment you can think of, any kind of apparatus that's going to
Yeah.
help her with batting, with
Yeah,
throwing,
yeah.
with pitching.
That's awesome.
I might have gone a little bit overboard.
Sure.
I love it. I hope you have like a batting cage. I hope you have all that sort of stuff.
I have the net. I have the
Yes.
tee. I have and I'm not gonna. It's a thing that helps her swing.
There you go.
Yes.
This is amazing. Did
I
you
have the
also play
return.
softball?
Yes. I played
Oh,
softball.
there you go.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Well, that's good. And I think it's just a great example of, the type of work that people get to do here. So I want to jump into VizPick.
Yes.
There's been a lot of press around it. It was mentioned in the earnings call. We've seen a lot of stuff. It's now in stores. And there's probably people with a lot of questions about what it is, how it works. So I am going to ask you a lot of questions around the details of it because I'm trying to think through the questions that other people would ask, and this is my chance to ask those for you. But we also we have a quick video too that we'll walk through, and you can just talk about the process a little bit. So some people that may not be real familiar with it, you can talk through it, and then we'll kind of go through questions.
So I want to back up 12 seconds.
Go for it.
When you said that it's in the press and it's like getting a lot of buzz and stuff, that is unreal to me because in my head it's like this simple camera with AR overlay or augmented reality with a UI overlay.
Yep.
It's like
deal.
how is that suddenly like the thing? And so I just want to like inspire everybody out there. A small idea can be huge.
Yeah.
Right,
Absolutely.
it can be huge, and it is going to change, in my opinion, the way that we manage inventory in our back rooms.
Yeah, totally.
But like I said, it's using camera vision. It's the first of its kind. With patent pending.
Nice.
And it's using an UX that is incredibly intuitive to the associate. So you hear a lot of, let's make it consumer grade. I think that VizPick has hit the nail on the head on that one. So I want to thank the designers that helped us out with that. But it is, it's a replacement for CAP. I know we joked about ICS, then we moved to IMS, and then we had CAP. All great systems of their time, but things change as technology comes into focus. We get to be able to use the tools and make things better for our associates. And VizPick does just that. So now we can run the video, cue the video,
Yes, I'm
and
excited.
we can talk through kind of what you're looking at here.
Oh, perfect.
It is truly a side-by-side of CAP versus PIC.
Yeah,
So
now CAP's the old process.
CAP is the old process. So you'll notice that Brandon, one of my colleagues, is like literally scanning a bin location in each individual item. And some associates listen for the beep, or they look at the screen to determine whether or not they're going to pick it out of the
And that's the
back room.
guy on the left.
That's
well,
the
it's
guy.
the same guy.
It's the same guy. Yeah, they're twins.
One's moving
brothers.
slower than the other. But
Yeah. And so Brandon's using CAP on the left.
Okay.
Brandon's brother, Brandon, is using VizPick on the right. And you'll notice how he just kind of steps back and looks.
Yeah.
And the UI will immediately tell him whether he needs to take action.
Yeah.
And he just
Wow.
clicks on it and goes. Now, we did this side by side with the exact same freight and the exact same number of picks.
Hey, he's moving faster
And
now.
so, we fast forward it for
Oh.
the sake of time.
Okay.
Finally.
Finally, Brandon's getting some productivity here.
It just took us a minute and a half. No, but so you can obviously see the difference. And there's a lot of things with CAP. You'll notice the red line definition.
Yep.
If you've been in stores, you know that is not always very clear to the associate. Right. And I lived in a world where this was just coming out, and we had mesh in between it.
Yes.
We put all kinds of everything.
I remember that.
All sorts of stuff.
It was awful.
Yeah.
It was awful, and we still had no idea.
Cardboard or plywood. I saw stores put plywood in between each one.
That's slightly expensive now, though. So
Yes,
I'm glad
true.
we're getting away from that.
That's amazing.
But so not only are we just improving the overall simplicity
Yep.
of it, but anybody can do it. Like I wish I could show you a demo of it, but if you just pull it up, it is actually on next.
Yeah, it's not on this one. But so this will be on this, like when we hand these out, like Laura talked about, it has a high grade camera. And so it's actually faster than TC70. So associates are probably doing it on the TC70 or BYOD right now. Is that right?
The TC70.
TC70 right now. Okay. So once we get these devices, it'll be even faster. And then it uses that camera. So you look through it and you can see the actual, it's like you're taking a picture, but then it's overlaid is what you need to pick and what you can pick and bring out. So that's the augmented
Super neat.
reality.
Yeah.
Which is kind of, it feels like the future of everything,
Yeah,
not just
absolutely.
inventory, backroom inventory. And I'm sure everybody's thinking the same thing. I'm thinking at some point maybe it's glasses or goggles or something that you can see through, and then it would kind of direct. And you can imagine. Now we're also looking at doing this on the Salesforce someday too, right?
Right. We actually have a POC right now, three departments, one store, where we're testing that very thing. The difference between what we're doing on the sales floor and what we're doing in the back room is in the backroom case label that we're using for VizPick is serialized. And for all of us at the home office, that's super exciting because Walmart's big data, and it's a lot to sift through, but with that serialization, we get very specific metrics to that case. So at the point of print, I know it's that case, and I can follow that case through the system until I sell it, basically, or I pick it.
That's so neat, though. I mean, thinking about how fast that process was compared to what it is, just
Yeah, and I
incredible.
think that a lot of us confused the speed of it. I had a market manager call me, and he was like, Katie, man, my guys are flying through this, but we're missing half the labels. So when we say how fast,
Yes,
the process itself is quicker, but we don't need the associates flying through.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Like, make sure you see all of the labels as you're going through. Otherwise, we miss them.
That's
Yep.
awesome. So I have a bajillion questions, but one that I do have. So when you're in the back room and it's looking at the label, so this is reading the label, the almost like a QR code type label.
Yep, a Ruco marker.
Okay, got it. And then I know when you is it the reason why it's harder on the sales floor is because the labels aren't there and it's looking at product, or will there be labels on the sales floor too when you go?
So it will be the product UPCs. So,
Okay, so it's gonna
top stock standards.
Got
I'll
it.
say that 3 times
Oh,
fast.
that's hard.
Got it.
You maintain those, and as
Okay.
long as I can see the
So the top stock you turn the case or the item so that you can see the UPC. This will then read the UPC as you're going through and it'll say, hey, this needs to come down or whatever.
And it also gives us that last piece, right? Like right now, I know my side counter because I've assigned the modular tile location. For the most part, we know where features are. I know that Mark Probst's team is working on getting feature location for all of features. And then we know it's in the back room. What I don't know is what's on top stock. So that's that last piece in location for the sales floor.
That's right.
And that feeds a lot of things. Like if you think of GIF, if I'm a personal shopper and knowing, hey, I walk up to the side counter location, it's not there, it could provide that secondary location for the item. But to your point, its primary focus from an associate use case is it will tell me what needs to be downstocked.
What needs to be downstocked. Okay.
Wow.
All right. So in the back, I've also heard questions like, hey, did you change the pick logic? Is the pick logic the same as CAP and now you're just doing it faster? Or did we do some work in the back end to determine what needs to go out and what doesn't need to go out?
Yeah. We absolutely changed the logic.
Okay.
And so I know that this seems really, really crazy, but it is as simple as the PI minus the backroom quantity is less than or equal to the shelf cap.
Does that sound easy to you?
I would need to write that down and then look at it a few times.
Okay, how much I've got total?
Yes. Right, yep.
Minus how much is in my backroom.
Okay.
Is that less than my shelf cap?
And
If
what's
it is,
shelf cap is?
so shelf cap is the quantity of merchandise that can be held in the specific location on that specific modular for that item. So like if I want a can of green beans, The shelf cap is typically around 24 or 36 because that is the maximum number of cans that can fit in that sellable space. So
That makes
if
a lot of sense. Yeah.
my total on hand of that item
Yeah.
minus what I know is in the back room, is it less than or equal to that shelf cap? Right?
Wow.
If
Yep.
it's less than or equal to, depending on if I have top stock or not, because we are now able to tell at the category level on top stock where CAP looks at it at the department level.
Yep.
But if I have top stock or not will depend on if I pick it. But always if it's less, I'll pick it. If it's got top stock, I'll pick it if at least one item will go to the side counter.
So I'll pick it means it turns a certain color.
Yes. So white indicates to the associate that I have located it in the back room for
Yep.
you, and blue indicates to the associate that the system believes that this merchandise should be picked and stocked to the sales floor.
Okay.
Once the associate clicks on that blue icon, it will turn green, notifying not only that associate, but anybody else that scans over that that item has been picked.
Got it. You with us?
Yeah, this is so cool.
Good. Got it.
She was like, I don't believe you.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's fine.
We'll
Just
talk
do
later.
it.
Just say you are. Just say you are.
Yes.
Yep.
The
It's a lot. It's
It
a
is.
lot.
It is a
Yeah.
lot. It is, especially if you don't. If you, this is not your, what you do every day.
Yep.
The other question I have is, let's say there's in a particular frame that you're looking at, and there's 5 boxes, and you're like, all right, I'm going to pick this one, this one, this one, this one, this one. What's the best practice to make sure that you remember? Because I tried it once, and I'm like, do I remember which ones that I said I needed to pick? Because then you got to go put your device down and go pick them. Is there a best practice or things that people are doing to?
So what we designed in the process was once you do the pick, just hold this pick up again, and
so it stays
should
there.
be green.
Okay.
Yeah, that green check mark or icon will stay with that box.
Okay.
So you don't even have to worry about it. All you got to do is once you pick it out, hold it back
So if you
up,
forget,
all
you're
good.
like, oh yeah, it's this one, then go grab it.
Right, because you are setting it down, right? Like
Yeah,
you're
yeah,
looking,
yeah.
and if you've ever looked, I don't know about if you've ever taken pictures or anything like that, or used the magnifying app
Yeah.
on your phone.
Yeah.
You're looking through, and then the minute you set it down, your orientation
Yeah,
is not
your
quite
view's
right.
different.
Yep.
It is, and so that's why we kept the icons. The icons won't
Okay.
disappear, so you can always double check yourself.
Very cool.
That's great. What's the type of technology? Like, is this something we developed ourselves? Is this something we bought? Like, what was the technology that we used?
No, we developed this ourselves. So I, in partnership with my design team and my business partners and tech, Walmart Labs actually did this from the ground up.
Ground up. So this
Wow.
is home built technology that we
It
did.
is. It
That's
is
awesome.
proprietary and it is patent pending.
That's awesome.
So neat.
That's good.
know,
Isn't that
so
cool?
neat. Yeah.
So cool. So cool to see the technology that we're developing.
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
Even for associate tools. What's some of the feedback that you're getting? Let's start. I hear a lot of good things. It's going faster, so I'll give you the feedback. How's that?
Okay. Yeah. Great. Perfect.
Hey Drew.
Yeah.
Hey Drew.
Yeah, if you could ask me.
What kind of feedback are you getting?
Yeah, let me tell you. It's going it's really fast. It's really easy to use. And it's just cool technology. And I think once we get the X covers in, it will be even easier to use, which is going to be great. But what are some of the questions that you're hearing, like most common questions you're hearing from stores that you feel like you can answer here if you want to, or things that you are going to enhance in the process?
Yeah. So we get a lot of questions on why something picked and it shouldn't have.
Yeah.
And the majority of guys, this is brand new. I'm not going to say it's not without its faults.
Yeah,
We
sure.
found
Right.
some hiccups where we were wrong, and we've worked through the majority of those. But almost everyone I'm getting now is because we have 2 things that override our pick logic. First thing is if an associate scans it as an out through shelf availability. The second one is if a personal shopper Neil picks it. So those are 2 out signals that we trust to be true.
Yep.
And so we just override the logic and we automatically pick a case. And so if you scan it as an out incorrectly, or if you nil pick it incorrectly, you're causing work for one of your fellow associates, and then it just doesn't make sense, right? They're like, why did this pick? My
Yeah.
on hand's right, my shelf cap's right, my back room's right. Like, what? Why did this pick? And almost every single time we can place it back to an out scan or a nil pick.
Yeah. So when it says, why is this picking? I picked it. I brought it to the sales floor. It won't fit.
It won't fit.
I'm like, why are you making me do this, Katie?
Yep.
I think we should put your face on here. And so they know
Why, Katie?
Katie's the one. Yeah. Katie's the one that's making you pick that.
Yeah.
All right, good. What else are you doing?
Some other things are, well, right now I've got about 700 stores that don't have it, and it's when am I getting it? And that's week 24 will be in chain.
Okay.
The other one is when it's fresh coming, and we are in discovery with that one because everybody knows fresh is hard.
Yeah.
And so we are working through kind of what that use case looks like because we have a lot of uniqueness going on in fresh, not just the fact that we have ingredient items and sellable items, but also the case pack quantity in fresh is often much larger than the shelf cap. And there's a lot of reasons for that, and we're not gonna go into that here, but that's something that I have to solve for that we opted not to solve for in GM food and consumables. And so if we don't solve for that in fresh, we can't get to fresh.
That's awesome.
So we're going to work on that. And then, of course, everybody wants to know when top steel's coming and when PDQs and assortments are coming in. Again, it's new. We got the 80% out for you.
Sure.
And that'll probably be what we see throughout the rest of this year as the team works diligently to refine what we've got and then move into the next steps.
Yeah, good deal. How can associates give you feedback? Is there ways to filter in feedback and through the app if things are working, not working?
Yep, we've got a weekly, and it might be daily at this point, call in, and I'm happy to send you guys the link so that you can broadcast it. And then also there's feedback on the home screen of the app.
Okay.
It's pretty generic though. As we get into looking at tools like the Me App platform, well, it'll be more specific to that, and then they can always email me.
Got it. We'll flash up your email to a million people. When that pick goes out that's not supposed to go out, email Katie Lafferty.
No, don't. But I'll answer it. I will.
Yeah, for sure. So it's fantastic that you are able to do these kind of things. But any advice for individuals in the store that, you also were a store manager, so you grew your career from an hourly associate to be a store manager. But any advice or anything you'd like to leave people with on your journey and maybe some things they can take away with?
I'll tell you, anybody that went through orientation with me, I said it then and I say it now, Walmart is the one company that you can change careers and never change companies. So if you are in a store and there is something that you aspire to be, there is a strong likelihood that Walmart has a path for you.
That's right.
Work with your HR. Reach out to me, reach out to the people around you, reach out to the people that are at the home office or doing something in those fields because we want the talent, right?
Yeah.
I think Sam said it best when he said that our associates are our best idea generators.
Yeah.
Well, they're also our best workforce, right? So come on, don't be afraid to take the leap.
Yeah.
I was terrified to come to the home office, and it has proven to be the best decision I've ever made in my entire life.
Yeah.
So don't be afraid. I think that's the biggest thing.
Yeah, we've had a lot of people come on and say that. It's being willing. I think you asked, maybe it was Donna, about being willing to take a risk.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right, and that's half the battle, is saying, hey, this is where I want to go, and we're going to plant that flag, like Adana said, and then we're going to take the risk to actually go accomplish it.
Yeah.
And sometimes you kind of get trapped in your little world,
It's
right?
safe.
And that's all you see.
I know it is. I'm comfortable.
which
I'm
is
safe.
It's totally normal.
Yep.
That's totally normal. Like everybody has to kind of meet that and say, all right, I'm gonna overcome that fear a little bit and put in for it. But we have trades. I was going through with Live Better You, some programs that we have that's going to help individuals that want to get into the trades. We have people that hourly associates that may have the opportunity to get trained to drive a Walmart truck, which is great. You can go down the store path. You can go into logistics. You can go in the home office and do all kinds of stuff. And so the opportunities are endless. And hopefully for those that are listening that want to do more, I'd really encourage you to listen to that and say, hey, what's the job that I want, or what interests me? And then reach out to us. Reach out to anybody that may be able to help you to get there, because you can't always do it by yourself. You have to have others that help you along the way, and we'll be happy to do that.
Absolutely.
That's great. All right, Katie, you are clearly making a difference.
Oh, huge difference.
You are. Not
Yeah.
only in the business, like this VizPick is going to make a huge difference, but with associates as well.
Yep.
So thanks for all that you've done with the company and all the things you're going to do in the future.
Thank you.
Great to have you.
Yeah.
Great to be here.
Yep. Thank you.
Come again.